not a bar graph or a pie chart or something like that. And it is not because that I have not taken the proper attributes, because definitely when you have the proper attributes in place, all those graphs on your left hand side, I mean sorry, on the right hand side will get activated. You can see them, that which one you can use and which one you cannot use. So that was the only problem I was facing.
Okay.
And so the main reason, the main thing which I thought is, as because the columns which was given, there was no metadata for that. So it was very hard for me to understand what exactly that data is for.
Got it. So
So
if I hear you right, what you're saying is the data wasn't good enough to support the kind of visualizations you wanted to create, right? Because
yeah,
the,
in short, you can say that, yes.
right, the data was just a flat table. Unless it was merged with some other super data set, you really couldn't derive too many
Yes,
visualizations out of it. I mean, fair enough. I
yes,
think that's
yes.
that is one of the factor where you cannot create good visualizations. But good that we started with the discussion, because today we have an answer for that, right? In today's session, I will introduce you to a sample data set that you can use to probably try every feature that's there in Tableau, right? And this data set is very rich, meaning it has a lot of dimension tables, a lot of fact tables, many different kind of attributes, including geographical data and date dimension and so on. Okay,
Okay,
all
okay.
right. So we'll just give it one more minute and then we'll get started. Okay, meanwhile, so Siraj, did you have a chance to download the file that I had uploaded to Google Drive? Hello, Siraj, you there?
Yeah, you can hear me now?
Yeah, yeah, I can hear you now. I was asking if you were able to
Okay,
download
okay.
the file from Google Drive.
Correct, correct. Yeah, I did that. I did that,
You did that?
Sandeep. I was speaking on mute.
Okay, perfect. Okay, I guess that's it. Then let the others join later, so we'll get started. Okay. So I think few of you are on the call are joining for the first time. For them, I just wanted to recap what we have discussed so far. Can everyone who's not talking please go on mute?
Uh, Sandeep, just one question. The Tableau version that we downloaded, that
Mm-hmm.
was for 15 days, is it?
That
Okay,
would
so now
be
that has expired for me.
no, no. If you saw my second video, I had said like you had to download the public edition, which is a free version. I think you downloaded the desktop version. If your bandwidth is good enough,
Yeah, I guess so.
okay. So what I'm saying is, if your
Okay,
bandwidth
never
is
mind.
good enough, yeah, you
Yeah,
can do
yeah.
that, right? So you go to tableau.com and look for public edition, which is a free version that you can download and install. Okay.
Okay, I'll do that. In the meantime, you can go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, all right. So just wanted to quickly recap what we had discussed in the previous session, right? What we discussed in the previous session is that we looked at Tableau, how to install it, and how to create a quick visualization using a data set, right? And I mean, we only had one session so far, and at the end of the session, I asked each of you to create some simple visualizations out of using any data that you had, right? I I heard from only heard back from only very few people, but I just wanted to share those visualizations with you, so that for those who did not get a chance to work on it, we'll get to see what are the different kind of visualizations that you can really create in Tableau. Okay, so let me just get started with that. Right, see, if you can, I hope everybody can see my screen now, right? So I have this Word document in which the screenshots are pasted from Tableau, right? You see somebody has used the crime database, right, from the New York Open Data website. You see number of records and murder divided based on this is not country. This is supposed to be county. Okay, I think this is a typo. But you see, I think this is Welchester or something. This represents the maximum record or homicides, right, in this area. And the size of these area along with the color says something about the intensity of the or I'm sorry, the number of homicides or crime happening in that county. So this is a very interesting visualization. This is a heat map, and I think this is a very nice example. The data that is being shown and the visualization that has been chosen for it, right? And then we have a bar graph. Nothing significant about it, but I like the way it's been displayed in a horizontal fashion instead of a vertical fashion. One of the reason for choosing this is if you have bars that are too high, right? Instead of showing it vertically, it makes sense to show them horizontally, right? So that's a decision you could make based on what is your min value and what is your max value. If you see too much of a gap, it makes sense to put the table flat like this, make it a horizontal bar graph instead of a instead of a vertical bar graph. And then you have a couple of stacked bars as well, which is okay. I mean, it shows that if the amber is the total crime, the green represents the motor vehicle theft. So if somebody were focusing on how much of the total crime is motor theft, this visualization that could help, right? So you see, just three different visualizations, and it's so there's so much variety in it. And yet again, this is something else. So this is a historical data, right? You see the data starting from 1990 and going all the way till 2010, but for spread across each county, right? So this again is another type of visualization, right? So the reason I'm just going through is you can see what are the different visualizations available, how you can play around with it to get the combination that you want, right? So this look okay, and I still have few more few more sets of it. So again, here are some graphs. I think this is a slightly complicated visualization. It would be best to sort of skip this, right? And so is this. See, this is one example of how not to use Tableau, right? Since Tableau gives you visualization, it does not mean that you add more and more value. The visualizations that you create must be such that it's easy on the user's sense, right? They must be able to consume that information really quick. It shouldn't take too much time or be too cumbersome. So this is an example of how not to do it, right? I will not mention the name of the person who developed this because he's guilty, so let's spare him the punishment. Okay, and now moving on, I think this is a good example. I still think there are too many data points, but this is also another kind of data visualization where you have different axes and but your columns are the same, which is city, but you're showing two different measures. One is number of records and sum of allocation, right? And then this is nice as well. This is this is historical data. You see the trend, and this is again a best practice, right? For anything to do with trend, you use a continuous line rather than rather than a bar chart or anything, right? So this again is a very nice example, right? And so is this area graph, of course. I think if you have other overlapping area graphs, it becomes even more usable. right? And finally, this is sort of a data cloud. Again, this is a very powerful visualization. One look at it, and you know what is that one attribute that 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 is high in the metric, right? And that is clearly visible, one, by the size of the bubble, second, the color of the bubble, right? You'll see that all the blues are sort of grouped together because they are in a particular slab, all the grays are grouped together, and so on, right? So yeah, I just wanted to share these beautiful examples that some of you have created, so that everybody could see, right? Now, today we will look at the sample data set, how we can uh, use it in Tableau to create even more rich visualizations, right? The Tableau itself it's pretty good, but what makes it even more useful is you need to have the right kind of data to be able to create the visualizations, right? So for those of you who have Tableau installed, you can follow the instructions, and you can in parallel do it on your machine. For those who don't, you can for now just look at my screen. Right? Okay. All right. So I'm going to launch Tableau. This is the same version that we had. Okay. If anyone has issues where you cannot see my screen or anything, I hope everybody can see my screen. Is there anyone that cannot see my screen? Sai, I know you cannot see my screen. Anyone else? Okay, all right. I think we are back. If there's anyone else, please do let me know if in case you're not able to see my screen. So I launched Tableau. This is the Tableau public edition, which is the free version. Right. Okay, Siraj, you are able to see the screen, or you're not? You're not able to hear me. Anyone else who's not able to hear me? Okay, that would be a stupid question, because you'll not be able to hear my question anyways. Mm.
Sandeep, this is Siraj here. So what is happening is I think uh,
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead, Siraj. Hello.
yeah, I can hear you, Sandeep, now.
Yeah. Okay. I think every time you go.
It's just that, yeah, it's just that at times. Hello.
Yeah. Tell me. Siraj, I hear a lot of
Yeah.
background noise
So
from your
what is
end.
happening is I think the data is reaching you a bit late.
Oh, okay. And I hear a lot of background noise from your end. I mean, just make sure you have no other, any other application that's using the internet is shut down temporarily. All right. So I'm sorry. Coming back to what I was saying is, so this is the the opening page of Tableau Public, right? And Tableau Public is the free version of Tableau. The only limitation of Tableau Public being, you can only connect to four types of data sources. It is either an Excel, a text file, MS Access file, or OData. OData stands for Open Data. This is a new, sort of a web service, right? Some websites, like for example, last session we looked at New York Open Data website, correct? All of the data sets that are there on that website are available through a URL. So this OData connection lets you directly connect to the data set and create visualizations. You don't have to download or anything. You can directly connect to the data and you can create visualizations, right? But in the full version of Tableau Public, You can connect to every data source that's there, such as SQL Server, Teradata, Oracle, DB2, you name it, and every other database connectivity is over there. For this example, I'm going to go ahead and click on access. Right. So the moment I click on access, now it's asking for the file. I'll click on browse, and if you see here, I have the same file that I had uploaded on Google Drive earlier. Right. So it's an MDB file, access 2000 to 2003 version MDB file. I'll click on open, and I'll say OK. Okay. Now, once it's connected to the database or the data source, you'll see all the tables being listed here. Right. So they are not added yet. It's just listing the tables that are available. It's up to you as a Tableau developer to choose what tables you want, right, in your in your report. So what I'm going to do is I will add the product category. It's as simple as just double click on the table and it will appear here, right? And then I'll add the sub product category, and look at what happened. It automatically created the joins between these two tables. Right now, let me tell you something about the Access database. Within the Access database, there is no relationship that exists between these two tables. There is no primary key, foreign key constraints between these two tables. Without these constraints, how is it that Tableau is able to make these joins? Can anybody answer that? Just take a wild guess. Tell me how Tableau is able to define these joins between these two tables. You're right, Sai. So, what Sai Krishna is saying is that based on the column names. So, the way Tableau is making these joins is if it sees that there is a column available in both these tables with the same name and the same data type, then it automatically creates a join. Okay. Sometimes this could be right, sometimes this could be wrong, but what you have to know is Tableau is not built for the IT developer. Tableau is a software that has been built for the business user, and it wants to it aims to make the life of business user as easy as possible when it comes to creating a report. So that way, as part of that objective, they have put in a simple rule that it will automatically create a join, right? If it sees there is a common column with this with the same name and so on, same name and same data type. However, you always have the option of changing this join condition. You can change it to any other equation that you want to. You can choose and pick a particular column. You can choose what is the kind of operator that you want for the join and so on, including the kind of joins, whether it's a left join, right join, and so on, right? Now let's move. We will add one more table. So I've added product category, product subcategory, and dim product, right? And in our very first session, we discussed about dimensions and facts, right? So if you see here, these tables start with the name dimension. So these are all dimension tables, right? And we need to have at least one fact table. So for the fact table, I'm going to click add fact internet sales. Just to give you a background about this data set, this sample data set that's all there, it it is about an imaginary company called AdventureWorks, which sells you know sports gear related to adventure sports, outdoor sports, right? So they sell their merchandise online, and they are capturing all the sales that happen online. So this database is about that. Now, any questions so far? Anyone? All right. Now, these four tables taken together have lot of data within them, if I were to click on sheet 1, it's going to throw a, throw a warning saying this free edition of Tableau can only process up to 1 million records. So I'll add a filter. I'll add the filter on product line. There is a line called M. I'm really not sure what it is, but that's what I'm going to select. Click OK and fine. So it's going to fetch only those records where line is M. And now this data is ready. As you can see, you can look at the data. This is a data preview. You'll see there's some multilingual data as well. Anyway, we will not be using that, but it's good to know that Tableau handles those as well, right? And another thing that you notice is it is creating, it has the column names. You have the ability to rename these column names at this level, right? I mean, you can choose to do that, or you can leave it as is, because anyway these are business friendly names right here, so you can leave it as is. And I'll go ahead, click on sheet 1. So we connected to the data source. We selected the tables that we want. We defined the joins, and then we applied a filter. So the data set is ready. Now it's all about how do we use the data set to create the visualization that we want. And this is against an MS Access database, right? And this is very similar to how it works when you connect to any other database, such as, let's say, SQL Server or Oracle or DB2. The moment you connect to a database with the right credentials, it's going to list you all the tables, and now it's up to you to select the tables that you want. Okay. Oh, pay very close attention to this. You see, so many attributes have been created, right? And if you look at a very high level, there are two categories. One is the dimensions at the top, and then you have the measures, all right? This was something we discussed during the last class. Let's see if any of you remember. So, how is that the Tableau is able to group columns as either dimensions or measures? Can somebody answer that? No, not the data type and something else as well. Okay, so the answer is it is going to look at the data type and the data within. All right, so it will parse the records to see that is it a string, is it a number, and so on. All right. And remember, sometimes Tableau can pull in the data from a text file, and in a text file, you do not have any metadata to say that okay, this column is a string, this column is a number, or anything, right? So Tableau has to on the fly identify that attribute as either being a dimension or a fact. How does it do, how does that do it? It parses the data. It literally scans all those rows of data to understand that okay, whether is it a dimension or is it a fact, right? Okay, so but definitely, I mean that was a close answer, right? So you see, so many dimensions have been added here, and so many measures have been added here. Now, for the dimensions, you see that it has been grouped into folder, right? I did not create this folder, right? Tableau created on its own, and the default behavior is Tableau is creating one folder for each of the table that we added, okay? And any dimensions found within each table, it is adding to that particular folder. For example, dim product, class, color, English description, and so on, or attributes of, or I'm sorry, or columns that are there in the dim product table, which is why it created a folder dim product. Okay. However, as a you know as a Tableau developer, you have the option of creating new folders here, right? And you can group the attributes however you want to. But this is just the default behavior of Tableau. The same exact explanation goes to the measure as well. You see, all the measures have been grouped into particular tables. You have some in fact internet sales, which is our actual fact table. You have some fact in the dim product as well, which really may not be a fact sometimes. Dealer price may not be a, may not be a measure. Finished goods flag. Look at this. This is the perfect example of where a dimension has been converted to a measure. The simple reason is, in the data, this would be a numerical data like 1 or 0 and so on. Tableau does not understand that it is a flag. Since it's a number, it is converted that to a measure. What you can do is you can convert it back to a dimension. How do we do that? Right click on finished goods flag and say convert to dimension and see what happens. It disappeared, right? Now it was in dim product. Let's go look at in dim product. Okay, there you go. You see, finished goods flag. So it moved from here to there. Now, if in case you are wondering if it's the same column, let's convert this back to measure. You see, it disappeared here. It came back here. Okay. So likewise, if you have a good understanding of the data, you can decide what is a measure, what is a dimension. So let's move it back to dimension because that's where it belongs. Once you move it, you also see the icons uh, next to each object. Any questions so far? Any questions so far, anyone? All right, I'll take that as a no, but please feel free to interrupt me in case you have any questions. Okay, these are, see, the things that I'm explaining right now are very basic, right? Very fundamental to Tableau. And once you understand this basics, it becomes a lot more easier for you to explore the advanced features of Tableau as well as pick up any reporting tool for that matter, right? Okay. Now let's look at the small icon that's appearing next to each object, right? You'll see there are different kinds of icons. So you have ABC, that I think by now you would have guessed it, right? That it represents a string data type. Then you see something like a calendar with a timer. Uh, so as you guessed, it represents a time dimension or a value that's of the data type date or time. And then you have a hash. Hash represents a number. Okay, and you'll also notice that in the measures also there is a hash, but the difference is here all the objects are in blue color and here they are in green. Right. And then there are some more data types. I'm just looking for it. Probably we may not have it in this data set. We will have spatial data as well. Spatial meaning geographical data, right? I don't think we have it in this data set, but that's okay. Right. All right. Now let's create a simple report. Okay, let's create a simple report. I'll add the product line. Okay, product line does not make sense because we have filtered it, if you remember, on the data to be just one product line. So let's try something else. Dim product category, product line. Let's say English product name. Oh my God, that's a lot of records. Okay, English product name. Try something. Model name. Okay, this looks better. This looks better. Right. So this is a model name. I think these are accessories of a mountain bike. Right. Now we will add a metric to it. By default, when you double click any attribute or I'm sorry, any dimension, it is going to fall under the rows, right? Now we can add something from the measures. Let's say we'll add the sales amount. Before I add this, before I add the sales amount, you see ABC appearing here. This is not actually any value. In the absence of a metric, it has to show some value here, right? Some default value, which is why it just has a placeholder value of ABC. This is not coming from the data itself. It's just showing that, okay, there is no metric here. Instead of showing blank, I'll just show a default value of ABC, right? Don't get confused with that. This is the actual data. This ABC is not the actual data. This is the actual data, right? Now let's add a metric. I will drag and drop sales amount and I drop it here. Okay. Now all the numbers have appeared here, right? Now what you can do is you can let's create a simple graph type with this, right? Or let's okay, let's give it a different coloring, right? What we are going to do is, the objective right now was, we have to color these rows, these metrics, based on their based on the ordering by the number, right? So the value with the row with the highest value will get a different color in comparison with the row with the lowest value. Okay, so what we are going to do is, we are going to drag and drop the sales amount again and drop it on the color. Okay, you see what happens, right? This being the highest number has the darkest color, darkest font color, and it gradually decreases, right? Now let's okay, okay, this is called a highlight table. There you go. This looks even better. Now let's do a sort. Now sorting is done by this. If you move towards the table, right, towards the top of the table, where the intersection of the rows and the columns, you have the small icon that comes here, which clearly shows an arrow mark. Right click on that, select sort. In sort, select descending, and you get to select the field, right? You get all the fields that are there in the data source, but we'll just go with sales amount as of now. Apply and okay. Look at this, right? So it was pretty simple, pretty easy to understand that, okay, how do these different boxes influence the formatting of the table. Any questions, guys? For those who have Tableau on installed on your machine, I'll pause for 2 minutes. Please do try this on your machine and let me know if there are any challenges. All right. And one other thing I wanted to sort of refresh, right? We did discuss this in the last session, is Tableau has this nice function of show me bar, right? The show me bar is a set of visualizations that are already there. As you can see, majority of them are disabled. Only few of them are enabled, right? Those that are in color are enabled. The others are disabled. They will get activated based on how many measures and how many dimensions you have on your report here, right? So based on the number of dimensions and attributes you have here, measures, certain visualizations are going to get activated, certain few are not. Those few do not get activated because they probably need more dimensions or more measures to be used in order to really create that visualization. So as you just hover your mouse over each of these visualizations, you'll see that it needs two or four measures. Clearly, we have just one measure in our sample report. So this is scatter plot is not possible, uh, whereas tree maps is definitely possible, right? So let's click this and see how the report changes. There you go. So this mountain 200, occupies much of the data to a level that the all the other area graphs do not even cannot even display the name. All right, and then you have the bubble graph as well. This again is is quite interesting. Uh, it seems to be arranged in a very nice fashion though, right? You see all the smaller dots and the size of the diameter of the circle, right, and the color represent how what is the metric, right? What is the metric with mountain 200 being the largest chunk among this. And you can also play around with the color. Okay, so if you see here, model name color has come in here. I can right click here and I say edit colors. Okay, so here you have for each of the element you can change the colors, and there is a color palette. Let's say we select gray and click OK. Oh, I think it didn't get applied. I'm sorry. Let me try that once again. Okay, there you go. See, so you can choose from different palettes that are available based on the type of visualization that you want to show. Sometimes it makes sense to use different colors, right? All completely contrasting colors. Sometimes it just makes sense to use different shades of the same color. Yeah. Any questions so far? Or at least those with Tableau on their machine, have you been able to do some of these? That was the whole reason of asking you to download this access file and keep it ready on your machine. Okay, great. So we'll just continue. We have 15 more minutes, but I think we'll be done in another 5-10 minutes. So the last thing that we are going to try today is we'll see how to create a simple dashboard, right? So what you see on the screen right now is a single visualization, right? A dashboard is really a combination of multiple visualizations, right? So let's see how easy or difficult it is to create, right? So what I'm going to do is I'll leave this visualization as is. I will add another worksheet. It is as simple as adding a worksheet in an Excel, right? So I'm going to go here. At the bottom, you see a icon, new worksheet. Click on that. Right now, I can add any data that I want. I'm going to add. I'm just looking what would be the best thing. Let me add the product category name. I'll add the order quantity. Okay, that's not right. I'm sorry. Okay, there you go. Sales amount and order quantity, and I'm going to rename this as details. Okay, I'll add one other worksheet where I'll just start, let's say, the sales amount, right? I think it's what we had created earlier, and I'll convert this to one of these visualizations. So let's see what works best. Okay, this looks okay. So I'm going to save this as a graph, right? So we have a details and we have a graph, right? Now, once you're done with this, if if you think that okay, I have enough visualizations now, I want to combine this into a single visualization. Again, look at the place where you added a new worksheet. Right next to that, you have a new dashboard. So click on new dashboard, right? And on the left side, you see all the different worksheets that you have. Okay. So I'm going to drag and drop the graph first, right? It will take up a bit of space on the dashboard. You can control this behavior later. Now I want the details as well, so I'm going to drag and drop the details into it, and you can see that as I'm hovering over it, it gives me different options like do I want to split it in half vertically or horizontally, or whichever way I want it to, right? So I'm going to split it horizontally and I'll just drop it here, right? So now you have a dashboard, right? The and You can keep on adding more and more elements into it. Of course, you don't clutter too much, but just enough information that's required for your business requirement, right? So now you have a graph and now we have a table, and there are many other things that you can do, such as you can add a web page, right? Let's say I'll say www.msn.com, right? This is a new feature, that's been added to many BI tools, and Tableau is there as well. So for now, just to show you an example, I'm adding msn.com. This really could be some internal web page, within the organization, right? And I could add a text, right, and so on. So, and I mean, look at the beauty of this, right? Since we started, we did not have to write a single line of code anywhere, right? We started with nothing, and within less than an hour, we have created a simple reports and dashboards, and it's in a presentable format, right? And if you know what you're doing, if you have the data that you need, then Tableau makes it much easier for you or the business user to create reports, dashboards, and publish them to the server, right? Any questions so far? We have 10 more minutes, so I thought we'll wrap it up now. If you have any questions, we can answer that and we can wrap it up. Next session we will look at uh, creating parameters for the reports, right? How you can have a drop down options, right? So that the user can have some level of interactivity or to on what they want to see, what they don't want to see on the report, and so on, right? So we'll cover that in the next sessions. But in today's session, any questions that that you had? Any or anything that you did not understand? Okay. I guess most of you are in on a long weekend holiday mood, so that's fine. It's understandable. Okay. So if no more questions, then thanks everyone for joining the call. I think for some of you it is late, and for others it's Saturday morning. But thanks for taking the time to join the session. I'm sorry, was that a question? Hello. Okay. So thanks everyone. We'll see again next weekend, and I'll just send out an agenda as well as the recording of the session. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thanks everyone. Good night.